Morning.
Hey, Lisa, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Did you get some time off for the holiday weekend?
I actually was, well, for the weekend, yes. I was working last week though. Most of the rest of the team was gone, so it was kind of a nice quiet week.
To get some stuff done.
Got some stuff done, and then I'm going to be gone actually the next 2 weeks. So
Okay, nice.
yeah. How about you?
Yeah, Packet Pushers had Thursday and Friday off, so it was like a long weekend.
Yay.
Yeah, it was nice.
And how hot and humid and gross was it over the weekend?
Yeah, pretty hot, humid, and gross. That about describes it, yes. And today as well.
Ah,
It's July on the East Coast.
yes. Although my husband had me join him for 4th of July once in Philadelphia, and I thought, Boston was hot, humid, and gross, and then I went down to Philadelphia.
Yeah. Lucky us. Are you on the West Coast?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in the Bay Area.
Nice. Depending on where you are, that is not hot and humid.
No. Sometimes hot.
Yeah.
Rarely humid.
Yeah. Well, Ethan and Derek and I had a good call last week.
Good. He mentioned that.
Yeah, and he's got some bash lessons going that are Packet Pushers branded, which is nice.
We'll wait a couple more minutes, but it might just be you and me today. I know Brian Linkletter said he was going to be out for a couple weeks, and I'm not sure if France is already on holiday or not.
Okay. And I guess Matt's out as well.
Matt is out as well, and Derek is he has some family stuff he needs to take care of today.
Okay.
And where? All right. Well, I think this may be a short call then. I guess a couple things on community docs. I have been working on the governance doc, and I think we're planning to meet on Thursday when Matt gets back, because he had probably some sort of vision, I think, for the community as a whole that I may or may not have taken into account. And so I want to review that with him, as well as I've written a code of conduct. I've halfway done with a privacy document and privacy policy, all those other good things. And I have a meeting later this afternoon with legal as well. So after I get back in August, we should be in a position to review those with you guys and with the rest of the community. And then start formalizing things. I think the sort of the big open question that we will need to get resolved before we can really formalize the documents will be sort of how we handle fiscal conservatorship if we go to something like there are a bunch of different ones out there, but there's Software Freedom Conservancy and a couple of other organizations that basically they're not full service foundations, but they handle money for multiple parties, and to make sure it's all sort of transparent and everybody knows where the money's going, and you're not putting people in a position of having to potentially pay their people that they may or may not be partners with, and sort of things like that, from a business standpoint. And the reason that a lot of the documentation hinges on that decision is because things like trademark ownership and privacy policy and so forth and so on. If we were to move the project under a fiscal conservatorship, then they would also take on the ownership of the trademark and logo and things like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of what the ultimate hinging mechanism will ultimately wind up being.
Right.
And then sort of who holds legal liability and things like that. So right now Juniper holds legal liability because it hasn't been moved formally to a third party. But that's not necessarily, it may be that everybody's cool with that. Honestly, we would like it not to be that way, I think. As much as anything else, to give potential partners reassurance that we're really not trying to own this whole thing.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of I think what the decision point will be. We can have sort of draft working documents, even assuming that we were to move things to some sort of conservancy. We then have to go negotiate with a few different groups to get one of them to say, yay, verily, we will be happy to take you on. And so that will take some time as well. But we can certainly have, sort of working operational documents in place that everybody's sort of duly nodded at, even prior to formalizing them, given that sort of extra wrinkle and permutation.
Okay. All right, that sounds good.
Derek had put a note on the agenda about upcoming lesson content, which I think is primarily Bash. And he's finishing that this week, I believe.
Okay.
And then he wants to, he'll have it in the repo, and he wants folks to play with it before we push it to production and make sure it all works and so forth and so on.
Okay. So I was thinking about doing like a blog post and maybe a briefings in brief, which was one of our mini podcasts about the lessons. Should I wait until Derek's got them all finished, or do you want to start drawing attention to it now?
Well, I guess there's sort of two different ways to answer that. If you're specifically waiting on Bash, I would wait till it's pushed to production. But if there are other sort of topics and content that you think would be of interest, definitely don't hold back. The stuff that's already published.
Okay, I just was thinking that was a nice tie-in because Derek is putting this Bash lesson sort of as under, like, there's like a community element to it with packet pushers in there. So that was a nice kind of tie-in.
Yep. Yeah.
So this would be.
If you want to kick things off with Bash, then let's do that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good hook for us.
Okay.
But I'll wait till Derek's got all the lessons done.
Yeah. He does, as I say, he is hoping for some people, not him, to to test them out before they go as I say, before they get pushed to production. So
Sure, I'd be happy to dive in and take a look at them.
okay, so well, you know how to reach Derek, so I will leave that to you guys to coordinate while I'm gone.
Okay.
And then Matt also has a bunch of changes that have been in test as well, actually for a while. And I don't know what the status is there. So that would be another thing to follow up on when he's back next week.
Okay.
And that's all I had. Any thoughts, comments, ideas that you wanted to discuss?
No, not at the moment. Yeah, I think I'll just coordinate with Derek about the bash lessons, and then I'll get something together on our end to publicize and promote.
All right, sounds good.
Great.
And with that, I think we can. So I don't think anyone else is joining us at this point, so I think we can probably end the call here, unless you have other things you'd like to chat about.
No, I'm good.
All right. I will talk to you then in a couple of weeks, Drew.
Very good. Enjoy your time off.
All right. Bye.
Thanks, Lisa.